From the time we were born, we picked from an array of beliefs, some less than others. So, from children's stories that we may have heard, regular cliches like sticks and stones, um, some are meant to empower us and protect us, and some are meant to restrict us or, try to put a circumstantial thing on us, basically a law on us that really wouldn't apply otherwise. Now I switch up these cliches, and so instead of saying it the old way, like I tell somebody like you're getting off my nerves instead of saying it the old way. Because why would you want somebody, on you? That doesn't make any sense. So basically, if you wouldn't want it to happen, like don't say it. Like don't say I'm getting, just say I'm getting healthy of you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying it the old way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you don't like physically really get sick of people. You know what I'm saying? I know you might mean it as, of course, you might say it as a parallel or something. But I think your best bet is just to say it the right way, the true way that you mean it, which is what I'm saying, you're annoying me. Just say it straight up instead of saying something that may be parallel. Somebody might want to take it the other way and try to twist your words and da da da. I know Jesus spoke in a lot of parallels and stuff and a lot of religions and stuff, but it's better to just be straight up with what you mean in this way. It won't be confused for anything else. So basically, that lesson is just to watch the words that you speak. Because you can speak life and you can speak death. The Bible says the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue, and it also says that the God of the Bible spoke the world into existence. So from that, now who knows if any of that is true or if that's just the standard that we're going by now? Because maybe it's all relative. Maybe that was just made up too. But if that is the case, then basically just watch what you speak. This way you won't have to worry about anything else. But if you don't want to believe that, then that's good too, I guess, if it works out for you. Whatever works out for you. So in fact, religious books, all types of religious books, are filled with subliminals to what Israel, or should I say, what is perceived to be real or accepted as rules or laws of nature or whatever. So when you hear somebody that's making up a bunch of lies, it's like this is just to sound like a blatant lie, or maybe it's a bunch of hyperbole. They're exaggerating things. Maybe it's not that they're really trying to lie to you, but they're trying to put something into creation, maybe for you or for themselves or for whatever. So they're trying to throw something into the atmosphere. They're trying to, throw their energy out into the atmosphere to create something instead of just, you might just perceive it as a lie, but then they might only be targeting gullible people that they can lie to, so that they're going to use your belief power to help them create something. But like I said, we are sovereign of ourselves. I am sovereign of myself. So if I don't want to believe something, we cut it off, and you don't have to believe. You don't have to believe anything, and we'll be free from it, to an extent, and it'll work out. So basically, if we borrow consent or contract from the belief system or the thought or the belief proposal, then we are free from it. Now, most citizens of the United States, matter of fact, all types of countries around the world, are illegally, I say illegally, fooled and coerced into believing that they as humans are under maritime law. Maritime law is when they file for permits or licenses with the government. that they receive these things with their name in all caps, which is supposed to represent a business. Now they're falsely under the belief that their name in all caps, what they thought was their name in all capital letters, is them when the government perceives it as a business and something to be treated like a business. But they're somehow people just believe that it's them. And then the sad thing is, after that, the government feels that they could reduce people's human rights, natural rights, to that of a created corporation or a company or something. And if I feel if people are ignorant of this, people are ignorant of this as a contract, and they don't know the whole ins and outs of this, that they should be they should, people are ignorant of this. If they're ignorant that they okay, they think, well, I never signed a contract. I don't know where you thought I think where you thought I did. Then everything should be void. Because if you're not fully conscious of this, then it's void. There's no way you could sneak in a contract. Like a contract is a mutual agreement between two people, not a I'm gonna trick you into it, and that's what they try to do. They try to always be underhanded and manipulate the situation. Um, and then you have to think sometimes when people act like this, are they doing it? And if it's a really a war, then sometimes you got to do some grimy things to get things done because you got to win the war, and you might be on the good side of the war, and you might have to do some things. But I don't think this is that. This is something else. Like who knows? But bottom line is, anything where you're the one getting manipulated, you should be the one to pick everything for yourself, and all sneaky, subversive things need to be dealt with and brought to light so that people know what they're getting into. So, whatever the case is, if anything's good for you, then you should be able to have all the full information and pick what's good for you. Simple as that. False law and what I would call a non-tract. This is not a contract. It's a non-tract. Basically, our reality is based on our beliefs, and we dream about what we know and like. If you ever had the deja vu feeling, if you ever had deja vu, then it's like an old dream that just came to life. So now I don't want to give anybody more power over you that they any power over you that they don't have. But let's say everybody knows that you could see me do something, or I could hold up a sign and I could show you something, and now that could influence what you see through the day. Now, if people could use this against you somehow, let's say if they, you know, send you thoughts and messages, or they send you correction, they send you messages or show you scenarios throughout the day. Now, let's say if they pierced into your dream somehow, so that you would dream what you was influenced by during the day, that would be a form of manipulation that they could try to manipulate your dreams with. And but that's if you don't counter it with what you want during the day. So you got to know who you are and what you want, where you're headed. You have your own goals, and then you just stick to your path and you focus. Oh yeah, I was just rudely interrupted by this funny acting machine, but it's gonna work fine from now on. And it's gonna work fine from now on. But now, subliminal ads are placed in your face, through advertising or all types of media. All types of media. It could be the radio that you're listening to. Could be live streaming radio. You know what I'm saying? It could be even a CD that's played for you, that's played in your surroundings, or someone driving by bumping some music or anything. All types of subliminal messages might be thrown at you throughout the day, and if you really pay attention to that stuff, and then even it could even be a live show going on right in front of you. There's a bunch of people that are in these orders that may be acting right in front of you. Whatever scenario that might be going through your life, you might see two people, a group of people doing something that may be relevant to what's going on in your life at the time, and you're like, oh wow, you think it's just a coincidence, but it's really someone trying to create a theatrical show for you, so you can see what is, so they can try to project what they want to happen in your life. Now, these subliminal messages may just be meant to go through you so that you don't get them, but they meant for maybe if you have a ghost in you, that your ghost will get it, or maybe your ghost is your subconscious mind, so they want your subconscious to get it, but they don't necessarily want you as the person to get it. So then you have that. So this subconscious messages and talking affects you, especially when you're sleeping and stuff, because well, it doesn't. It may or it may not affect you. It may maybe it doesn't affect you. I don't know who you are, but for most people, maybe so maybe you could be affected by the subconscious while you're sleeping, or maybe not. What I'm saying, I don't know who you are and what affects you. But if you ever think about it, like maybe you ever had an experience where you were, I don't want to make, I'm not making anything up for you. I'm just saying some people had experiences where they were sleeping and then you had the TV on, and then whatever was on the TV when you woke up, you realize, okay, wow, I just had a dream about this, but it was just what you was hearing on the TV while you were sleeping. So that's some way that your dream world could be affected. So that's why we need to, or could be, yeah, it could be affected. But that's why we need to, guard our dreams and guard our dream world. Now I know in the religion of Islam they state, I don't know if it's the Hadith or the Quran, but they state that you are closest to Allah when you are sleeping. So maybe that could be like the exit from the from this world to the next, or exit from the Matrix or some kind of other portal. But who knows? I don't know. I'm just speculating. So like I said, I don't know for sure, but I from the trails that I picked up, I see that it's kind of, it may be closely related to our current reality. And I think if you ever read Sigmund Freud, he's supposed to be the father of dreams. He had a lot to say on a subject like that, stated similar things.